Music. Oh, yes. We're music lovers. Might not be music producers like the us part of our children do. But yeah, we love music. Yesterday, I have a music story from yesterday.
Right.
This one's fresh.
This is a fresh.
Fresh in. Okay. So maybe it wasn't yesterday. It's the day before. I was working and I was making jewelry, hammering away, la la la, and I had my music playlist on. I was listening to some fun worship music because I was celebrating Jesus. And a song would play in my playlist. Now, mind you, I had a playlist. Can I say where on here? On Spotify. Okay, I had a playlist on Spotify. And it would play one song and then switch. After that worship song, it would switch to Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra?
Yeah. And I'm listening to it and I'm like, oh, I like that song, but that's not what I was listening to. It like cut my groove. Because, when I'm hammering into metal and stuff, I got to have a groove. Yeah. And, yeah, it cut my groove. And I was like, what in the world? Okay, so I looked up and I saw the next song. It said Wicked. I'm like, no, that's not how I roll. So I switched it back to my worship music, and it played another song. And then it went back to Frank Sinatra again. And again, and again. It did it like...
my mouth.
You missed your mouth?
I missed my mouth.
It did it like 6 or 7 times, and I kept saying, Trevor, are you messing with my music? He's like, no. I could have sworn he kept doing it to aggravate me and put the Frank Sinatra on.
So what was it?
So he, all of a sudden, after 6 or 7 times of me screaming at my phone, what are you doing? He's like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Mom. The other day when we were having game night, I put Frank Sinatra on your phone for next. So every single song I listened to, Frank Sinatra was next.
No matter what the song was.
No matter what song, what playlist. I don't even have a Frank Sinatra playlist. And it was always next. Oh my goodness. It was funny and frustrating at the same time because we got a good laugh out of it though.
So what's your favorite
Frank Sinatra song?
No. What's your favorite genre of music?
Genre? Like
or time frame? Time
well, I really love 70s. It makes me feel really happy from when I was a little kid. So, like, I don't know. I would have to look in my playlist to see. But I like the 70s. Go ahead and you talk about your favorite, and I'm going to look and see what mine is.
There's no doubt about mine. Mine is the 80s big hair bands.
80 big hair band. That used to be my favorite.
Bon Jovi, Poison, Motley Crue.
Oh, my goodness.
All the 80s boys.
The 80s boys. Okay, so let's see. I'm just looking for a good one that I can kind of sing.
Def Leppard.
Oh, could it be I'm falling in love? That one. I like that song. Dance with Me, Dancing in the Moonlight, Dancing Queen, Diamond Girl, all those good 70s songs. I love them. They make me feel good in here. Other than worship music, of course. I like worship music. Bethel worship particularly is one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. How about you?
Are you talking just Christian? Are you talking...
Worship music. What's your favorite?
Worship? Yeah, probably Bethel.
Bethel?
Yeah, Bethel.
But I got to be careful because if I'm getting all into worship, I got a hammer in my hand. Woo, I don't want to be doing that. Yeah, I got to be careful
something
sometimes.
Bad could happen.
What I'm playing, huh?
Something bad could happen.
It could.
I like some of Elevation.
Mm-hmm.
They're good.
Do you hear that?
I think it's my chair squeaking.
Oh, it sounded like a little kid outside screaming. Yeah. I'm like, what in the world is going on?
Yeah.
Okay. It's you.
I think it is.
All right. No. It's...
Yeah, it's me.
Okay.
It's my chair.
Pastors.
You get some oil.
Oil your chair. All right. So, what else we got going
Okay,
on?
so I want to talk about goals.
Ooh.
Setting goals. What's the purpose of setting goals? Mm-hmm. What are some goals that maybe you have or I have?
I have some goals. Do you have some goals out there? In wherever you are on the other side of that camera, do you have goals?
whether it's spiritual, financial, maybe health, just
in general.
Just in general.
What kind of goals do you have?
Relationships, careers.
I'd like to hear their goals as well. If they'll put them down in the whatever you put your comments in this video, wherever you're watching it. Put your goals down. I would like to know what their goals are too. So while we're talking, you put your goals down too. Yeah. What goals do you got?
Well,
what you got?
What you got? My goals are kind of weird. My goals are kind of weird, being a pastor. So it's kind of.
Let us into your world, Pastor.
But I would like to read. This is going to be kind of aggressive.
Okay, wait. So you mean goals for 2023?
Yeah.
Okay.
Aggressive
goals. Hey, that's all right.
I like to read 2 books a month.
Wow, that is aggressive, but totally doable.
Yeah.
Some people read,
So it's 24 books. So.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Do you have a list of
And
things
books,
that you want to read?
Not Audible.
Audible rocks. Any of you listen to Audible?
No.
That's how you read your books? It counts totally.
That's story time.
No. It's a different point, a different perspective on how people learn.
Yeah. I don't like the Kindle.
Any Audible learners out there, do you listen to books? I think I'm going to put that down for my goal, too.
The only time I get a Kindle version is if I might like it, I might not like it. So
Can't wait for it to come in the mail, so you hurry up and get it on Kindle so you can read it right now. I've done that.
Usually if I want the book, if I know I want the book, I'm going to get the book. The actual
hard copy.
Right? Because, things happen.
Things happen.
To things in digital format.
Yes. And so we don't want that to happen to your beloved books.
Yeah. So one of my goals is to read 2 books a month.
2 books a month. All right. I'm not even sure I could listen to 2 books a month, just because my work doesn't allow me to listen to.
Just because of the nature of what I do, I read a lot.
Sure. That's good. I want to read more books this year. I'm super excited about it, actually. I've got some new books coming in the mail. What is that Tony guy?
Tony Robbins?
Tony Robbins. I've got a Tony Robbins book coming in the mail, and I'm really excited about that. He's a big talker, that guy. And then...
a couple of those books on Kindle.
And yesterday, I went to IKEA. Any IKEA lovers out there? He groaned because...
I didn't groan, I sighed.
I heard you. I heard you. He didn't go. I did not force him to go with me.
They were going to IKEA and the Container Store.
The Container Store. Yes.
I told Trevor, I said, I can't think of any harsher punishment.
That's torture for someone like you. Okay, so me and Jessica went to the IKEA store. Jessica's my new daughter-in-law, which is very exciting. I have a daughter-in-law now. We went to IKEA, and we were going to go to the Container Store, but unfortunately we ran out of time because, IKEA. So anyway, I was at IKEA. If you're an IKEA lover, put it down there in the comments. We want to know. Or are you an IKEA hater?
You gotta put everything together. Nothing comes assembled.
Hey, it's a challenge. With instructions.
That's the problem.
Okay, so if you're an IKEA lover, put it in the comments. If you're an IKEA hater, he's going to go and comment on his own video just to say, I hate it.
I'm not a hater.
You don't hate IKEA, you just dislike it very much? Yeah. Okay. So
Okay, so The part about IKEA that I do like is the
restaurant with the chocolate little balls. Little round things like coconut. I didn't get any of those yesterday.
They used to have good like meatballs or.
They have meatballs still, yeah.
And gravy.
I don't know. Their food didn't look that good yesterday, so we were like, I'll take a hard pass.
I usually don't mind going if I know I get to go to the
restaurant. It is a neat little restaurant, but not sure about the food right now. So anyway, we went to IKEA and I did buy a new bookshelf. I'm really excited about that
because I could fill it up with my 2 books a month.
Yes, that's the idea. Like when you put something in front of you and you're looking at it, you're gonna probably pick it up. So I have a lot of books, and you have way more than I do. You have a lot of books, that we've done a lot of highlighting in and stuff. Are you a highlighter? You people out there, do you highlight in books? I borrowed a book from a friend recently and wanted to highlight so stinking bad.
Them?
Huh?
Why do you keep pointing at them?
I'm doing the disco.
Oh, help!
The 70s music's in my soul. Okay.
Yeah, you can catch it.
Help you, Rhonda. That's like 50s, I think.
Oh.
Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda. Okay. What was I saying?
I don't know.
About books. Oh, highlighters. Do you highlight? Do you write with a pen, like underline and make little notes? Do you do all of the above? Like me? I highlight, I use a pen, and I like coordinate colors for different things. Sometimes, I really go all out.
Really geek the thing out?
I can geek it out, yeah. Sometimes I just stick with one color through the whole entire book. And sometimes I'll like highlight in yellow, which I love yellow in a book. And then I'll get a hot pink pen to write little notes. So, I don't know. Different stuff like that. Anyway, I got a new bookshelf. If you keep those books in front of you all the time, you might pull one off and like look through your highlights. You could like really sink it in, whatever you learned before. And you're like, oh yeah, I remember reading something about that, and really sink it in. They're all right there on the shelf. I mean, how cool is that? I'm excited about it. But yes, somebody has to put that shelf together. Any sign-ups for that?
So, another one of my goals is...
Okay, so goal number 1 is to read 2 books a month? Is that what you said? Okay.
How many books is in the Dr. Seuss series?
A lot. There are a lot of Dr. Seuss books. You know what? That would be a cool challenge. Yeah, because Dr. Seuss, they're fun books. We have a lot of Dr. Seuss books. I should dig those out. Yeah, like they're fun. Sam I Am, like it would give you a like part of your it would stir up your humor. Who? I think so. Who is my mother? You're not my mother. I've got them memorized.
So we don't need to buy the books?
No, we have the books. Oh. Okay, 2 books a month. Not Dr. Seuss.
Yeah. Okay. So my other goal is to, and most people don't know I'm even doing this.
Okay. Do I know?
Yes.
Oh.
I've been writing a book.
Yes, he's writing a book. Bravo!
And so my goal is to have the book finished this year.
He's going to be an author.
2023.
Okay, that's actually my to-do list too. I'm
You're
excited.
going to finish writing my book?
I'm not writing your book. Your book is done in your style. Like,
yeah, it's cool.
We are very different personalities. My book's a list. Yeah, yours is a story. See the difference? Anybody up for a list? Anybody up for a story? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's going to be a good book. Definitely a good read.
It's not going to be a long book. It's not going to be a big, it's not a big novel or anything like that. But it's a book. It's a book on purpose, with a purpose. On purpose, with a purpose. It's a book on purpose with a purpose. Wow. I'm purposely writing it in a certain direction. Okay. Purposely writing it in a certain direction. So you're writing the book to lead people into a certain direction. Yes. Yes. Nice. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to tell what mine is, but it really is a list. Especially guys. Guys.
All right, men.
Dudes.
Men and guys.
Dude.
You read books?
Dude.
Is it even in your personality to read a book?
Cool, dude.
So basically, it's kind of your book is going to be kind of like for people.
Totally cool.
It's totally cool. It's going to be for people that maybe don't read as much or as often.
No way.
Yeah. Beavis and Butthead will read your book.
It wasn't Beavis and Butthead.
Oh.
That was Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. Oh, my word.
Oh,
Do you know what Wayne's World is? I want to know. You know, because some of y'all are pretty young, and you might not know what Wayne's World is.
Beavis and Butthead.
I'm not going to explain what it is. They can go look it up.
Beavis and Butthead?
Wayne's World. Oh, mercy.
Wow. Wayne's World was...
And then come back and tell us how tortured you were.
Probably one of the greatest shows on earth.
Oh, my word. That's what you're going to watch, Wayne's World.
Yeah,
Wayne's World and read Dr. Seuss books.
Yeah. That's my goals for the year.
Those are some good goals.
Yeah. Don't hold me back now.
Go for it.
Yeah. No, but Wayne's World, well, that was cool. Beavis and Butthead was cool.
Okay, let's just be honest. The books you actually read, for the average person, they couldn't handle that. Probably. I'll just give you a little credit there.
They're
pretty deep books, pretty deep concepts.
But
They're definitely not Dr. Seuss.
The one I'm writing is not.
No, the one you're writing is not deep, right? It's for people who don't generally read. I mean, because you were that person.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
And I used to take, and
Tell us all about it.
back in high school, I used to take, I take an F on my book reports.
Oh,
Because
my.
you had to read the book, you had to write out your report and all that stuff.
With a pen.
And then you had to get up in front of the class and read it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that ain't happening.
It ain't happening because you couldn't read your own writing.
No. I'd either be sick that day,
Oh, for sure.
or I refused to get up there and take the F.
Take the F, man.
Yeah, I did that several times.
And he still passed.
Yeah.
By a hair. By the skin on his teeth.
Had a good teacher.
He had a good teacher that was kind and felt sorry for you.
And then call Mr. Rachel.
Oh, Mr. Rachel.
Yeah.
Anyway, books. You'd take the F because you didn't want to read the book or give the report.
And so after high school, it's like, I am never touching another book ever.
Right. Yeah, you were totally that person.
And so, little by little, I'd read a magazine article or a newspaper article or something like that, but that was about it. Mm-hmm. And
You'd probably read more on the sports.
yeah.
I bet.
And then someone gave me it was a small book.
Uh-oh.
So,
Uh-oh. Someone gave you a small book.
and so I started reading. So I read the book. Because I looked at it and I'm like, that's not very big.
I can do
I
this.
can do this. Yeah, had some pictures in it, so I took away from the page.
I can really do this if there's pictures.
Took away from the page count. And so I'm like, okay. So I started reading it. It was a sports book.
Oh,
I'm like, okay.
cool.
So I got through with that, and you know what? Maybe I'll read another one.
Do you remember the book?
No.
No, but you remember it was a sports book.
I got a sports book in my office that I've let several people read,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of them. Well, they're all guys.
Because guys tend to not be the readers as much, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
I've given it to them because it's a real thin book, and it's probably got 6 chapters, probably
What book is that?
6 pages per chapter. I forgot the name of it. I got it down.
We'll talk about it next time then.
Yeah, but so that's kind of how I'm patterning my book.
Uh-huh.
Is to be short chapters
Short and sweet,
and not very many chapters.
right? Just to get people going and get them thinking and
Oh yeah, this book's gonna make you think.
cool.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be long. You
Also
you
cool.
won't be thinking long.
Won't be thinking long, but you'll be thinking deep. No, not deep, he said. Okay, cool.
So what are your goals?
Those are the 2 goals you're sharing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a couple goals.
I have other goals, but
Well, I have a few, but one small goal is to get the house organized. I've been doing that. Like, that's why I went to IKEA. I bought some like drawer systems and stuff like that for my business so I could organize some new tools that I have for a new thing I'm using. I got to learn a whole new program, a whole new computer program. I got to learn actually 2 computer programs. I'm really excited. Oh, 3 actually. There's 3 that I have to learn with the next couple months, if that. So I got to learn quick. So like 2 of them though are for editing photos and videos. So woohoo, yay me, because I refuse to get a TikTok. It's easier to edit videos on there. And then I'm starting a new personal ministry for women's personal needs. That's all I'm saying about that. Yeah, help women. Personal ministry though, like helping the people that I'm close with. Because I'll be honest with you. You ready for some honesty? I mean, this is brutal.
Brutal.
You ready for some brutal honesty?
Yeah, I can handle it.
Okay, so I am an encourager. That is my gifting. But I noticed recently I've been trying to encourage a bunch of people that I'm quote unquote friends with, and they're not receiving it. They don't thank me. They don't leave a comment. They don't click like. And I'm sending these encouragements out to people. And like 3 of them are like, oh, thank you. That spoke to my heart. God is so good because he told me something earlier about that. It's like real prophetic for them. And then other people are literally ignoring me like I don't exist. But yet they're, quote, my friend. Like if I was to run into them in public, they'd give me a hug and be like, oh, so nice to see you. So I'm like, I heard the voice in my head and it was a scripture and it said, don't cast your pearls before the swine. And I was like, ouch, you're calling these people that aren't receiving encouragement swine. Well, my pearls are my gifting, my pearls are joy and all these encouragements that I can lift people up and they don't want them. Yeah. But then there's those few and they're like, I want them. Please send me these more often. So I'm going to focus on those people. One of my goals is literally to focus on those people that receive my encouragement that I send out and it, God speaks to them and not the other people. Brutal honesty. But hey, it's true. I just put it out there. It's true. It's what I'm doing. So that's one thing. So ministering to some women's personal needs, that's a different thing. And then, or it's kind of a combo. And then learning some new programs for editing videos and photos and another program, computer program for my business. Cool. And then exploring writing, because I used to write a lot, several blogs. And so exploring writing and publishing a book this year, self-publish. I want to learn about that. So I'm just pivoting a little. Maybe it was like 2 months ago. I heard a lot in my spirit just through, seeing things online, through people saying things, just different ways. I kept hearing the word pivot. Pivot, pivot, pivot. And I'm like, pivot what? It's a Friends episode. Was it Friends? Pivot, pivot. And they had the sofa and they were getting it up the stairs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was a Friends episode. I think I need to watch that episode because awesome. I kept hearing that word pivot.
There's another good show right there.
There's another good show, Friends. Okay. I don't care for that show, to be honest with you. So I'm going to be pivoting. I'm like, okay, God, I hear you. You're telling me to pivot. What am I supposed to pivot? So really, I've been just kind of following his leading on the last month or 2 since I heard pivot, pivot, pivot. I'm talking like in a week's time, I heard it a whole bunch of times. Yeah. It's like, if you don't do this, girl,
here's your sign.
Here's your sign. It's like, duh. So I'm pivoting. Pivoting, and I'm excited about it.
Pivoting.
I'm 51 years old, and I'm learning new.
How old are you?
I'm 51. Yes, I am.
I thought you were 30.
Well, on the inside, I'm 30. Maybe 35. So, I'm 51 years old. I'm learning new programs. I'm maybe going into publishing a book, stuff like that. And I'm really excited about it.
Cool.
And you're 51 as well. Yeah, and here you are. I mean, don't stop, people. Don't stop. You know what happens when you stop? Bad things happen.
Don't stop.
Just don't.
Believing. Hold.
You don't want to hit those notes,
No,
do you? Okay, 80s man.
Okay, so I had this thought. It was really cool.
Cool thought.
I wrote it down. Mm-hmm. Just think, if you simply take one step per day toward your goal, you'll have taken 365 steps toward the goal.
Well, that is a cool thought. That was your original thought?
Mm-hmm.
Good job. That's a really good one. Well, okay. All our thoughts aren't great. That's a really good one.
But think about this.
Okay, say that one again.
If you simply take one step per day toward your goal,
Okay.
you've taken, at the end of the year, you've taken 365 steps towards the goal.
Okay, people. That's really good. So get your goals down into the comments because that's really cool. This could really stir some things up for people. Yeah. We hope it stirs something up for you. Don't be the swine.
just one thing per day, one step per day.
That's cool.
Okay.
I like that.
With reading the books, I just pick it up and read a few pages. I don't have to read 5 chapters.
No, you don't even. I mean, don't be intimidated either by looking at the whole book. Not you. You read books, but
but just a few pages.
That's cool. Yeah, good idea. I really like that. 365. Maybe we could make like a sign to hang up in the house or in your office and around. It says 365 steps because every day is a step. Or maybe one step because you don't want to look at all the steps.
Yeah.
But it's a good idea.
The one step.
The one step.
One step program.
One step program. Hey, that's a good deal. And then by the end, it's a 365-day step program.
Okay, so here's a tip, or here's a idea, a thought.
Okay.
However you want to phrase this. Okay, so even if you don't hit your goal. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you set your goal out here.
Yeah.
Okay? So even if you don't hit your goal, it still gave you a direction to head.
That's true. So,
okay.
So you don't take 365 steps.
Yeah. You could have been heading in this direction, right?
Uh-huh.
But your goal was
over here.
Okay, and so it might have made you pivot.
Pivot.
Right? Pivot. Gotcha. Okay, so it might have made you pivot to eventually go in the right direction. But if there was never the pivot.
If you were never going.
Yeah.
I mean,
so it's not always about hitting the target.
But get the steps going.
Hitting the goal. But yeah, get moving in that direction. Do something.
That's good.
That's going to help you at least be on the right track. Mm-hmm. And if it takes you 4 years to get to that goal, okay.
You're still trying.
You still made it. You still got to the goal.
You still took those first steps to get in the right direction. Yeah. So even if you get somewhere, it's better than nowhere. Mm-hmm. And okay, so 365 steps should be right here, but you end up over here. You can just pivot eventually and get to your goal still. Mm-hmm. And it may take a little longer, but it's okay. I mean, things are a little crazy out there. And, stuff happens. And
think
makes it hard to get to our goals sometimes.
A lot of times one of people's goals is retirement. And if that's your goal, that's fine. But I know a lot of people that are retired and are bored.
They're bored, yeah. And they start to get sick. You know how many people die after they retire?
Well, I'm not
going there. A lot. Look up the stats.
But I'm just thinking, a lot of times, as we start to get older, we don't think we have any goals. We don't think we're useful anymore.
Useful, right? Yeah. I think that's a big part of it,
but, there. Think about this. If you're 70, 75, Think of how much information you have.
Oh man.
Think how many stories
experience.
You have.
Yeah.
And so, experience and experiences, So think about this. Maybe you're 70, 75, somewhere in that ballpark. What if you sat down with your phone, hit the record button,
yeah,
and just started talking into it,
right?
Then you would have stories.
That'd be cool.
Right?
I listen to stories like that on YouTube.
Start telling your stories in here, and then maybe you start typing them out, and then you get a whole book full of your stories that you can pass on to the next generation.
It's wealth. It's a wealth of knowledge, is what it is. Yeah.
So there's so many cool things that you could do.
Right, even in your old age.
Yeah, don't give up.
And especially in your young age. So if you're sitting there and you're like, I ain't 70, well, good, get going. Get going. Get those steps going. Put one foot in front of the other. Don't be lazy. You've got a lot to accomplish in your... It probably is a song. You got a lot to accomplish in your life. You've got so many years ahead of you and so much good you can do on this planet.
I'm trying to think of the songs.
Stepping songs?
Yeah.
I can't help you with that. So older people, though, they've got so much goodness in them, so much to give, and they could record it. I mean, I've been listening to 2 different kinds of videos of old people on YouTube. Like, I'm talking like 100 years old. These people, their family members or somebody, recorded them talking about like their childhood, like Appalachian Hills people. I love watching those because my grandma was born there. And so, they're talking about their hard times. The winter came and, they couldn't afford shoes. One lady during the Depression, I watched those too. I love those. They couldn't afford shoes because of the Depression, and she had to quit school because she couldn't go to school without shoes and they didn't have money for shoes.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? I'm just thinking, I'm like, man, there's so many help programs and stuff now, and Angel Tree and all these things that can help people.
Just people that will be willing to buy shoes.
I would buy someone a pair of shoes.
That's the first thing I thought, I about this lady's shoes.
I know, she could have went to school. She had shoes. Yeah. That's nuts. So anyway, I love watching those old people, and they're telling their history and all about when they were growing up, and we have a lot to learn from them. And if you are one of those old people, we have a lot to learn from you.
And part of the reason too is history tends to repeat itself.
History. Say that again for the crowd, Pastor. Say that again.
Yes. Good evening.
Say it again. Come on.
History has a way of repeating itself.
It does.
Okay, and so if we look at what happened to our great grandparents, and the things they went through, there's a pretty good chance that we're going to go through something
very similar,
right?
Right.
And so if we can learn from them, think how much farther along we'll be now.
Yes.
And I like what you said the other night. You were talking to somebody, ministering to somebody, and you told them that this is what we're supposed to do. This lady was younger than you, and you told her, this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to give the younger people the information, and the opportunities,
right,
and give them the guidance, so that they don't make the same mistakes we made. They can build upon what we did,
right,
and they can build upon that.
Said it took me 51 years to learn this stuff. Yeah. And here I am passing it to you, and you're only young. I'm not going to say the number. Very young. And I'm passing it to you, and then look how much better your life is going to be knowing this stuff. Exactly. And then you get a little older, and when you get in your 30s and you start talking to someone younger, and you're really getting to helping them.
Getting pretty intense, aren't you?
Yeah, it's exciting. Ew. Then they'll be better, and you're helping a new generation even younger than I. Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't start that stuff in my 30s. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. All right.
Okay, so another cool thing is these goals that we have. they give us, when you complete the goal, or you might not even complete the goal, but you might be on that right track.
Get on the right track.
And so that brings you joy. It brings you a sense of happiness.
It does.
It brings you a sense of fulfillment, that you completed something, or that you at least that
you're trying.
Yeah, you tried, and you moved in that direction.
Right. A lot of people are depressed because they're not doing anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So depression sets in because they feel useless, goalless. Is that a word?
Sure.
It is now.
Yeah.
They don't feel
Works
like
for me.
they have a direction. They don't feel like they have any hope in doing, getting anywhere in life. And depression can set in from that. Were you going there already?
Huh?
You looked at me like, yeah, I was about to say that.
No.
So the goals, not only is it good because you're going to accomplish some things, or at least attempt to, but you're going to have actionable steps that will help you not slip into depression because
Actionable steps.
actionable steps. Isn't that good? That's really
As soon as
good.
I figure out what actionable is.
I think it's a word, but I don't care. It's a word now. So, you'll
It
have.
might be part of that Dr. Seuss book that you have. I'm not sure.
I love Dr. Seuss, so it probably is. So you'll have actionable steps and be going in a direction. You'll feel like you're doing something. Like right now, the stats on people who are depressed because of COVID and the lockdowns. I don't even know if I can say this stuff on here, but I'm going to. Because they censor stuff, so I don't know what the key words are these days that make them upset. But because of those types of things that have happened in our society has changed drastically. I mean, this is not the world we grew up in. Because of that, a lot of people have slipped into depression. There's been a lot of harm done to themselves. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Or attempted harm. But when you have goals and you want to move forward, you're like, I can do something. I can do this, whatever it is. Even if you're on the other side of the world somewhere and there's still lockdowns in places. Parts of California, I think, are still locked down. There's places on the other side of the world that they're still locked down, or at least tight restrictions. I'm not going to say the countries, but there are people literally locked down. Even if they're in lockdown, they could try and do something. Get a piece of paper and a pen and get to writing something, do something. Even if it's a little something, do it.
Yeah. So set a goal, maybe it's a little goal, but go that direction.
Yeah.
I was reading in my Bible today, Hebrews 12:2. Okay. It says, for the joy set before him, he endured the cross. Okay. Talking about Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. So think about this. We get great satisfaction and fulfillment when we complete a goal. Right? And so Jesus, his main goal was to go to the cross, to be obedient to the Father. Right?
Yes.
To finish what he was sent there to do.
Yeah, that's what
Right?
he was sent to do.
And that's what he's doing right there in
Yeah.
that verse, right? So for the joy set before
And to
him.
kick the devil's butt doing
Yeah.
it, but whatever.
Yeah, so for the joy set before him, he, so that joy came from fulfilling or meeting the goal.
That's true.
Okay, so he met the goal. He
did meet the goal, and it's joyful.
He accomplished what he was sent there to accomplish. He arrived at his goal,
Yeah.
right? And so because of that, gave him great joy.
Yeah. And
So-
what happens because he got to his goal probably also gave him great joy.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
you
So
know,
like
people that can
when
be
I
saved.
when I set my goal of 24 books,
24 books.
right? And I read 2 of them a month, right?
Okay.
So let's say I'm geeking out.
He's geeking out doing some math.
Yeah. So let's say each book is 275 pages.
Okay.
Let's just go 250. Because
250.
it's easy math.
Okay.
That's 500 pages a month. Okay, so you take 500.
That's a lot if you think about it.
500 pages
Because those aren't Dr. Seuss pages.
divided by 30 days,
Okay, sure.
right?
I need a
So-
calculator for that.
That is,
He's writing it all out, like the old school math, y'all.
yeah.
That
So
new math.
that's about 17 pages a day.
17 pages. That's quite a lot. I'm just saying, that's a lot for a normal person. I mean, it's your job, that's what you do, but 17
But
pages a day.
24 books, that's pretty aggressive goal.
That's aggressive, in my opinion. I agree.
So let's say your goal was 12 books, one book a month,
Okay, that sounds good.
okay? So that'd be 200.
Normal people can do one book a month.
That'd be 200. That'd be 250 pages a month.
I'm
okay.
trying not to sneeze.
So I'm just geeking out over here. So
Okay, you do your
so
math.
if you take 250, divide that by 30 for 30 days in a
okay.
month. Okay. You're gonna get about 80. Yeah, about no. How did
Get
I
a
do-
calculator
Yeah,
out.
about 8 pages.
Eight
About
pages.
8 pages a day.
A day, okay. Well, yeah, because it'd be like half of 17, you said 17 pages a day. That I can do in my head. So, okay.
So-
About 8 pages a day. That's easily done, especially if it's a good book.
So
I mean,
if it
because you're
takes-
gonna
if it
want to
takes- if it
read
takes-
it.
Watch this now. If it takes, yeah, I'm geeking, totally geeking
Oh
out
my
here.
goodness.
Okay? So if it takes you, let's say, 1 minute to read a page, okay, that's 8 minutes.
It takes me a minute to highlight and write down all the pretty things.
Let's just round that up, and we'll say 10 minutes.
Okay.
That's 10 minutes a day
Uh-huh.
to read 8 pages.
Yeah, which is totally doable.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So 10 minutes a day times 30 days in a week.
Oh my word. How's your brain work?
Okay. I'm geeking out here. Okay, so 10 minutes a day,
Okay.
30 days.
Uh-huh.
That is
Thinking dee 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 dee.
300 minutes.
I don't know. I'm not doing the math.
Yeah, it'd be
Get your calculator.
300 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go back to that thing about Jesus, because I got a golden nugget to share.
Okay, hold on just a second. I'm geeking out here.
Get your geekery going.
Geekery?
Yeah, that's a word. Geekery.
Okay, so 300 minutes with my time.
Dee 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 dee.
Well, I'm being a mathematician.
Well, hurry it up.
Okay. Anyway, it is. It won't take you long to read the book.
Oh my word.
Well, you guys are pressuring me. Hurry up!
Hurry up with your math.
Yeah, this is boring.
Nobody wants to sit here and wait on you.
So you read it pretty quick.
You read it really fast. Y'all.
Okay, so it would be 5 hours.
Anybody want to correct that math?
Okay, it'd be 5 hours
Okay.
per
Week.
month
Pfft.
to read a book.
Okay, 5 hours a month. Okay. So that's easily done if you just cut out a little bit of Netflix, a little
I
bit.
think my math's right because I've been under so much pressure.
And you didn't use a calculator.
Anyway,
All right.
okay, so you said there was something
Oh,
that you had about.
yep. Oops. Sorry. I want to make myself heard. So yes, I have a golden nugget to share. So
Golden nugget.
Yeah. The last video we did, I shared a golden nugget about Jesus in the swaddling clothes when he was a baby and how, that was like the Passover lamb and blah, blah, blah. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and look. I have another really cool one. So, a lot of people know Jesus was hung on a cross, right? And sometimes people say a tree. What's more accurate, the cross or the tree? The cross or the tree? Well, reality,
Go ahead.
put them together, like a Kit Kat, chocolate and peanut butter, put them together, and
The cross is made out of a tree.
well, it's a crossbar on a tree. So they didn't necessarily use all these crosses like what we see on, like, say, a necklace or in churches. You see this cross, wooden cross. It wasn't like that. It was a tree with a crossbar for their hands. And so basically, sometimes it was a symbol to people coming into the city of, yes, see this? This is how we do people that do bad. We put them on this tree, on this cross bar and a tree. And so what does that look for? He's giving me a funny look. So when it really was a warning to the bad guys, come into our city, you get in trouble. So he's being so ornery. I can see it in his face. He wants to say something ornery. So when Jesus, all the movies and everything, and yet Jesus is walking through the city and he's carrying his cross, and then he gave it to the other guy. That probably isn't how it was. So how it really probably was a crossbar. So it was one stick, not two pieces of wood. Reason being, I guess there wasn't a lot of trees in Jerusalem. And so they had, or not, for wood, to gather all the wood for all these crosses, because they did it a lot. Mm-hmm. They crucified people a lot. The Romans did. So they would put them on trees, because that, they had some trees. So I thought that was really cool. And so Jesus carrying the crossbar, so it was probably like one wood piece, because
it's still big, still heavy.
Yeah, still big and still heavy,
Big.
Obviously, and he was already ripped up from the beating. So that crossbar then apparently, and I just found this out today when I was refreshing my mind on this whole subject, apparently that crossbar, the people getting crucified had to bring their own crossbar. Isn't that crazy? Like, we're going to crucify you, and we're not even going to provide the stuff. Like, you want to do it bad enough, do it yourself, is what I'm thinking.
Go get your own wood.
Go get your own wood. So, yeah, they had to bring their own crossbar, and then they would put it on a tree and hang the people on it, and then they to add humiliation to the person, the bad guy, so to speak, on the cross, on the trees, they would hang them on there naked. So, a lot of times we see pictures of Jesus on a cross, a regular cross, and he's got like a loincloth on. Obviously, for modesty's sake, they're not going to paint a naked Jesus. But reality is he was probably hung naked on a crossbar that was on a tree, an actual tree. And to take it a step further, he was hung in between two thieves, right? Well, what it more than likely was, since they were on an actual tree, one guy had his crossbar here, then on the other side of the tree, there was a guy on the crossbar there, and then on the other side of the tree, there was a guy on the crossbar there. They were probably all three hung on the same tree.
Wow.
Each of them with their own crossbar.
Cool.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
That's a golden nugget for you right there. Bet you never heard that.
Yeah, heard that.
Put it in the comments if you have, because that is a unique one. Yeah, I really love learning about those things. I don't like being religious. I like truth. And religion has a tendency to make stuff up and say, this is how it was. And it's like, I just want the truth here. Yeah. And so when I find those golden nuggets that shows something contrary to what religion usually shows, I get really excited. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And so you go back to Galatians 3:13 and 14, and it says that cursed is anyone who hangs on a tree. And Jesus became the curse for us. And he literally hung on a tree. Mm-hmm. A literal tree.
There you go.
Not wood made from a tree. Mm-hmm. A literal tree. Isn't that cool?
Yep, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. That's all I got.
That's all we got.
But he's smirking still. He's smirking. He wants to say something smart, but he's holding it in.
So we are celebrating. Mm-hmm. There's all kinds of things to celebrate.
Well, New Year's Eve is coming A lot of people are celebrating.
But I mean, even just a regular day, there's things you can celebrate, right? There's good things that happen during the day. You can celebrate.
Celebrate it, yeah.
It doesn't have to be a big celebration. It can be. You know,
hey, have cake.
yeah. It can just be, you know, getting excited and being happy, having joy over one simple little thing.
Sure, and find someone that can be happy with you. I mean, some people are in really terrible families. I mean, let's just put that out there. You know, and they don't have somebody, like if they did a great thing, they come home and they tell a parent. Sometimes that parent can be awful and just be like, well, you're nothing but a loser anyway, you know, or something like that. Yeah. Find someone that you can share that with. They'll celebrate with you. And
if you can't find anybody, come to Celebration Church.
Celebration Church.
We'll celebrate with you.
We will. It's true. People text us their celebration stuff all the time.
There's so many amazing things that are happening, even right here in Northwest Indiana.
That's exciting.
Just amazing things that are happening.
And some more amazing things are going to happen.
But because they don't have anybody to share it with.
They just go.
It gets covered over. It gets glossed over.
Yeah.
And then people get depressed, and it's just a vicious
people
cycle.
get depressed because they're not hearing about the celebration points in people's lives, and they're listening to the stinking news, which is depressing.
We celebrate a lot of stuff.
We celebrate a lot of stuff.
You know, doesn't matter. You get excited, we're going to get excited with you.
Right. We got people coming to church. Hey, I've been clean 9 months.
Yeah.
I haven't done drugs in 9 months. We're like, oh, that's exciting. We want to celebrate with you.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
We share that, and the place erupts.
Yeah, everybody's excited, and someone else comes in. They're like, "Hey, I got this random check for $100 in the mail," and we're like, "Yes!"
That's right.
And you know, then we're like, "Lord, do it again," because that's what testimony is. Lord, do it again. Yeah. That's exciting. We celebrate that stuff with people every week, even during the week.
It's fun.
It is fun.
So if you need somebody to celebrate with,
put it in the comments. Put it in the comments.
Let us know.
Let us know. We'll celebrate with you.
Let us know.
You know?
Let it not let it snow.
Don't you dare. Sing that.
Don't let it snow.
No, let us know. Have mercy. No, it was like 50 degrees today.
Yeah, that's awesome.
In Northwest Indiana.
That is awesome.
It is awesome.
All right, so
here we go.
We're
ending the way we started.
So that's what we do. We celebrate. We bring a little splash of happiness.
Can I just put a little plug in for Celebration Church?
No. Go ahead.
Okay, so, you know, this time of year, Christmas just passed, you know, we got New Year's Eve coming up, and then, you know, people celebrate these big, you know, points through the year, right? Like, we celebrate Jesus every week. I mean, we celebrate Jesus so much and what God is doing so much that Christmas comes around, we're like, yeah, yeah. Another holiday comes around, yeah, that's great. But we celebrate Jesus all the time, like a lot. It's cool.
A lot.
A lot.
All right. That's all, lady. That's all we
folks.
got.
Porky Pig. That's all, folks. We're just pulling out all the shows.
Yeah. So, we got some more podcasts coming up. We're going to do some really cool stuff. I can't tell you right now what it is.
Uh-oh.
But we got some cool things. We got some...
They're swirling around in there.
Yeah, I got some ideas.
All right.
But
we'll tell them eventually?
Yeah, we'll as we get closer. We'll
get it all ironed out.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's all we got, and we will see you next time.
Booyah. Celebrate.
Soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye.